I'm Mr. Reuben. Welcome to today's show. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscription button below so you don't miss a thing. Today, let's talk about consent. Consent is granting someone permission to take an action, usually before that action is taken. It is no longer consent if seeking that permission comes afterwards. Consent may be implied, expressed, or unanimous, but legally, consent abides by stricter guidelines and boundaries. If you've followed the Metoo movement over the past few months, you must have noticed how conversations around consent gives a narrative on sexual harassment or assault power or a stronger voice. What is consent in the context of sexual activity? A University of Michigan student sexual and misconduct policy document describes it as a clear and unambiguous agreement expressed outwardly through mutually understandable actions to engage in a particular activity, usually sexual. Note the keywords. Take a closer look at them. Why is this important now? We are standing on shifting grounds, guys. A woman's testimony about sexual harassment and abuse is gold. And this is not to void their testimonies, but add 2 or more women to the mix and you're toast, even before a court says otherwise. Worldwide, including in Nigeria, the legal age of consent for sexual activity is still 18, as contained in the Child Rights Act of 2003. Contrary to social media fracas in 2015, that the Senate had reduced this to 11 with the passage of a new bill at that time. But the stakes are different now. Age alone no longer defines consent, which is why the University of Sydney has made an online consent matters course compulsory for its students. It's a big deal now, guys. Here are some points to note. Never assume consent. Never assume that appearance, dressing, body language, non-verbal communication is an invitation for sex. Marriage does not expressly mean consent. There is such a thing as marital rape. Silence does not mean consent. A drugged or wasted individual cannot give consent. Never assume that a previous sexual episode is consent for subsequent ones. Under Nigeria's criminal code, sex without consent or with forcefully obtained consent is still rape. Maybe we all should carry on sex consent forms, the way you carry around packs of condoms, or create a video recording showing consent from both parties for record's sake. I understand the gravity of these accusations from women, and some of them are frankly despicable, to say the least. Take the case of the gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar, for instance. But the fact is, first, consent lines are now blurry, and you may never get the chance to explain yourself. Secondly, and more importantly, no means no. This stop it, I like it mantra you must run away from this season, and frankly for the rest of your life. Like the University of Sydney warns its students, Mr. Reuben is warning you. If it is not an enthusiastic yes, don't go ahead. Till I see you again, bye for now.